Hey you guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here to have what might be an uncomfortable conversation about Diddy. I had a few thoughts regarding not only him, but specifically part of the conversation that I don't see a lot of people talking about. So we're going to go over it. I do need to place a trigger warning. This will be discussing some pretty uncomfortable topics, including SA. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I, like the rest of the world, have been watching everything that's been unfolding with Diddy and this indictment, and now he's sitting in jail and was denied bond not once, but twice. And, you know, everyone is talking about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and, you know, that is a really big deal. But I think that there's part of this conversation that some people are missing, and maybe I just haven't heard it. So if you have thoughts, leave them down below. But what I want to talk about is these allegations go back to as early as 2004. That is 20 years. Imagine all of the people that were involved in these freak-offs and parties and late nights and really illegal and inappropriate behavior happening. All of those people sat back for up to 20 years and did not say a word. They were involved. They were sitting right there enjoying the the lap of luxury that Diddy was able to provide some of these people. And they knew that these things were happening, and they sat back and they did not say anything. I think this entire investigation and the things that are happening that we don't even know about yet, this is going to change the entire industry as we know it. The fact that it seems like everything is being exposed now. There have been so many opportunities for these people in his circles to have put a stop to this years ago, and they didn't. And some of them are still being silent today. All of this is falling apart, and you have some people that are being very loud and opinionated about it, and you have others that were very directly involved and had close friendships and relationships with Diddy, and they are silent. From early on, I covered this last year when everything was going on with Cassie. And then I sat back and I continued to consume the content up until current day. I would like to include an opinion video that was made by Comrade. And Comrade, I follow him over on TikTok. He is super intellectual, very smart, and he had a similar way of thinking, but he had a little bit more, he has a little bit more of a different perspective than I do, because he was actually in prison and he'd studied laws, and he spent a lot of time in the law library. So I'm going to drop his opinion in.
Why did they say 1,000 bottles of lubricants and baby oil? Let's talk about Diddy. First, I want to say this video is not in defense of Puff, but I do want to add a nuanced perspective that I think people are missing. First, I want to make it clear, he is not a good person. When I first seen that video of how he treated Cassie in that hotel, I knew that that was a bad guy. He did that way too comfortably, where I knew that wasn't his first time engaging in that type of bullshit. But this story is bigger than Sean Combs being a bad guy. There's something else at play that I think people need to pay attention to. Why is this story just coming out? Diddy's indictment says some of these accusations date back to 2004. That is 20 years ago. Now it's a problem. And the things that he is locked up for is modus operandi for that world and people of that type of wealth, prestige, and power. There has been several people in places of power that knew about these things decades ago that allowed them to carry on, and they didn't do anything about it. They didn't care about it then, and they don't care about it now. The gatekeepers that allow Puffy to become a billionaire are pissed off about something, and they are determined to publicly humiliate him and take his power and wealth. We made you, and when you no longer want to play ball, we can break you. I've been seeing on the internet people talking about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Hell, I even made a video about it. Why did the DA specifically choose to say that? That is a form of public humiliation. They knew that it would be social media gold. People will latch on to that, and the story would come about that in a way to publicly humiliate him. That was done strategically. His two main charges are racketeering and sex trafficking. During my 21 years in prison, I worked in the law library. I've learned a few things about the law. Racketeering implies a criminal enterprise. You cannot be a criminal enterprise by yourself. Every other racketeering case that I know of, when they wrap up the investigation and it's time to lock people up, they do a sweep. They just don't lock up one person. Why would they only lock him up if obviously there's more people involved? Because they want the story to be centered on him. Do a press conference and highlight 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube for social media, there's the public humiliation. What we are seeing here is not standard legal practice. There is an invisible hand that is moving against him. To be clear again, that doesn't mean he's a good person. And the powerful people that he pissed off do not care about those crimes that he is locked up for. They care that he stopped playing ball. The bigger story here is, who did he piss off? Because they are powerful enough to unleash the United States government against him, and they don't care about the crimes he was doing. That's why they are a bigger threat than he would ever be.
It's rumored that Diddy's publicist, Natalie Moore, has stepped down from her position suddenly after over 20 years with Diddy. Natalie, who has been dubbed the PR guru, has been nothing short of loyal to Diddy through the years. She even took on the role of transforming his bad boy rapper appearance to a distinguished entrepreneur and businessman. Sources say it was sudden and unexpected, stating she cut off all ties, disconnecting her phone and deactivating her email. You can only imagine the dirty secrets she holds for Diddy and potentially witnessed being his publicist for so long and cleaning up his messes. It's shocking and telling because Natalie stood by Diddy's side through it all, defending him during the Cassie accusations and managed the scrutiny during the raids on his homes earlier this year. A source close to the situation explained, "This situation left her with no other option. Diddy was her entire world. She will surely be deposed for this if she has not been already." They continued by saying, "This is a reckoning time for him and for everyone else involved," alluding to the fact that trouble may be on the horizon for Diddy's inner circle. What are your thoughts?
How do y'all feel about that? How do you feel about all of these people in power allowing all of this to happen for up to 20 years and not saying anything and not doing anything to, not only were they not doing anything to stop it or make sure that people knew, but they were literally involved. There are going to be a lot of really big names that are going to be talked about during this. I think that there are going to be a lot of truths exposed. And like I said, I think that it's going to change the entire industry from what we thought we knew to how dark and twisted it actually is. And let's be honest, a lot of us know that like Hollywood is called Hollyweird for a reason. But when you have facts to back up what people have been saying, it puts everything in a whole different landscape as far as the conversation of celebrity culture and the dark and twisted and many times illegal things that are happening behind closed doors. Now we have all of these other conversations happening as far as going back to like Biggie and Tupac and Diddy's involvement in both of their tragic ends. So I think this is going to be really interesting. I am not going to cover this on a consistent basis, but I think the silence is deafening, especially when you know that the silence is coming from people that were literally directly involved with Diddy and spending a lot of time at these parties. But I'm going to move on with my evening. I also have a new episode of Garbage coming for y'all. And yeah, we're going to just keep on going. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.